Hey y'all, what's up? JamiThatsMe here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another review on Basketball Wives. Okay, so first things first, Brandy and Duffy decided they finna link up and go to the boxing gym. And Brandy lets Duffy know that Malaysia approached her on some hey girl, did you tell Gennaro this? Did you tell Gennaro that type of information, right? But Brandy at this time, she's still confused because she like, girl, why would you even approach me on that? Out of all of the ladies that's a part of the circle, like, girl, why would you run up on me and ask me that type of shit? You feel what I'm saying? So that's what Brandy's at. She's still confused because she don't rock with neither one of them, her nor Gennaro. This is where a time where Duffy decided to let her in on what's going on with her. Duffy says that she doesn't know if she wants to marry her longtime fiance Iman, but I feel like, girl, you should have really knew that before you actually accept his proposal for real. But I get it. Like sometimes people do accept the proposal, and then there's more things that they need to work out or some things that come up, and you just like I'm not sure if I'm ready to cross that line just yet. We need to iron out this. We need to iron out that. So basically, I understand if there were some things that could have came up during the proposal phase, but I feel like, girl, y'all been engaged for a very, very, very long periodically time. But girl, it's your situation, so do what you want to do with it, okay? So let's move on because y'all know that Brooke caught her man cheating on her. So she decided to go and have a conversation with her dad in hopes of getting some type of help from him, some type of advice from him, right? Well, we learned that she's pretty much a love child herself, right? Not that her man went out there and had another love child, God forbid, but we do know that he cheated. So the correlation is that her dad also cheated on his wife with Brooke's mama. And for me, as I was listening to the conversation, basically her daddy was telling her, listen, don't make a permanent decision based on a temporary situation. And I was like, well, daddy, you would say something like that because I know you still having a little bit of regret for messing up on your wife and her turning around and leaving you over time. So I don't know if you're the best person to be giving her some type of advice. Like maybe she need to go talk to somebody else because it was something about that advice the daddy was giving her didn't really make sense. But at the same time, it seems like the dad was also in support of whatever it is she wanted to do. Because when she talked about getting those tattoos removed of her man's name, which I'm in full agreement with, her dad was like, you should, it's like whatever is going to make you happy. So it seems like at the end of the day, he is supporting his child. But I guess he just want to make sure that this is something she really wants to do when it comes down to leaving this marriage. And if you ask me, I want her to go ahead and jump out of it. But either way, girl, good luck. Jackie meets up with Duffy because she's still pissed at the fact that British told her that the ladies feel like she messy. And not only is she messy, girl, but she boring as hell as well. Now, she asked Duffy about her saying that she butts in people's business, but if y'all caught it, Duffy didn't necessarily confirm. All Duffy said was, I only had this conversation with Angel Brink. That's it. I haven't had the conversation with nobody else. So I'm like, okay, Duffy, I see you. You're not necessarily answering the question and confirming that you two feel the same exact way. Bye, Duffy, girl. So then Jackie tells her, well, guess what? British said that I was bored as well. Like I'm boring or whatever. So what Duffy does is she laughs in Jackie's face, pretty much confirming that what British said was fact. So she just laughed in an effort to avoid confirming and answering the question. So we see you, okay? Basically, all of the ladies feel the same. And this is how I know y'all feel the same. Because we as the viewers feel that way too when we watching it. I love me some Jackie Christie. I'll be real honest. Like I feel like you can't do Basketball Wives without her. She is definitely a kiki and a cackle. But sometimes Jackie does go overboard. She does because she wants everybody to come together. But also we know why Jackie really does that, right? She know it's going to make for good TV. That's why she try to force y'all to have conversations where y'all don't want to have conversations. Like it is what it is, right? So Jackie tells her about Malaysia and Jen kind of getting into it, which they really didn't get into it, but she told her about the situation and how she was on the phone with Jen and how Malaysia didn't like something that Jen said, so she butted into the conversation and then turned around and hung up in that lady's face. So Duffy is like, girl, they never gonna get along. I said, no, they're not. They're never going to get along. And here's the gag. They're both okay with it. Y'all are the ones trying to get them to come together. They're both fine. Now, we do see where British and Jen did link up. Now, Jen's still mad at the fact that Malaysia sat up there and hung up in her face because it's like, girl, why you always effing with me? Why are you always doing things to me, okay? Now, if you ask me, I'm going to tell y'all right now, right out the gate, go ahead and feel away, but I still want you to have a great day, all right? If you ask me, I'm Team Jen. I'm not Team Malaysia. I'm going to say it again, feel away. I'm Team Jen. I'm not Team Malaysia. I do feel like Malaysia definitely has been effing with Jen over the years. And also, so much so that Malaysia, when she knew she needed this job, when her own good homegirl Brandy got kicked off the show, Malaysia began to align herself with the likes of Shawnee and Evelyn. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be like their little teacher's pet or whatever the case was. So I feel like she definitely has done some stuff to Jen. Jen was also at a low moment in her life or whatever she had going on, you know. So for Malaysia to run back and say, oh, Jen was talking about you, Jen said this, Jen said that, and then you turn around, you threw a table at that lady, and this other stuff that you've done as well when it comes to Jen over the past few seasons, at this point, for me, all bets are off. I feel like Jen can say whatever the fuck it is she wants to say because Malaysia would have done the same thing. See, Malaysia, in my personal opinion, is being humbled by life right now, which is why she's trying to turn the other cheek, which is why she's trying to be like, I don't have time for the mess. I don't, oh my God, woe is me. I have a lot going on, and girl, miss me with all of that bullshit. Okay? That's why you want people to probably feel a little sorry for you, and not so much as feel sorry for you, but just acknowledge the fact that you got a lot going on. I don't give a damn, because times when other people have had a lot of things going on, you didn't care about that. So right now, ain't nobody finna make me have no sympathy for Malaysia at this time. I'm not saying it can't change, but in this moment, absolutely not. So Jen bringing up whatever she brought up about that lady, I care not a thing about it. Not a thing about it. Because when Malaysia did not have to add her 2 cents in, saying Jen said this and Jen said that, girl, you didn't have to do that. Okay, so I don't want to hear nothing about it. This is like, girl, I'm just thinking about some of the comments and how people be like, well, see, this is the very reason why if I was Malaysia, I wouldn't share anything with y'all. But see, y'all got to understand these people not your friends, right? Jen and Malaysia have never been friends. So why would Jen not share anything? Like, bitch, I don't have no obligation to you. Maybe Brandy, I would look at a little sideways. Not Brandy, you know, you didn't have to tell that lady business, whatever. But because they had a different type of relationship. Jen and Malaysia ain't never had a relationship to where Jen needs to have some type of allegiance or whatever the case is to Malaysia. Girl, F you. Do you know how many people is still not finna fuck with you to this day? You throw a table at them. Girl, it's giving Cardi B. If you beef with me, bitch, we beefing forever. So I don't know what y'all expect out of Jennifer, but let's be honest. Malaysia has come at Jennifer over the years because Malaysia sees Jen as weak. It's just what it is, okay? And obviously, Miss Jen got with that good man over there, Mr. Jelani, and he got her feeling some type of strength or strong or whatever the case is. So Jen is just like, I'm tired of y'all talking to me any kind of way. And a lot of times that's how it go. People get picked on, people get talked about, whatever it is, for a long period, a lot of quality time, and then after a while they just tired of that shit, and then they start speaking up for themselves. So I have absolutely no issues with Jen wanting to come at that lady head. You know what I'm saying? I just ask that Jen at a later time, if Malaysia come back at your head, don't be scared. And don't be no punk. Stand in it in all shades. Come on, New York. But let's go ahead and keep going. So Jen tells British that Malaysia isn't being real. British says, well, listen, I think that Malaysia is just in a different space in her life right now. I think that she's being open. She wants to get to know more of us. All of that. I think she's in a different space. And Jen says that, girl, yeah, she in a different space because she losing that motherfucking house. I said, ooh, well, Jen done told it all. Let me tell y'all, again, Malaysia is being humbled by life right now. You know, I hate that for her. And more importantly, I really hate it for her children because security for them is extremely important. And I feel like that dog's baby daddy needs to definitely help her out. And now it makes more sense as to why she's sitting up here and she is indeed suing him finally. Because unfortunately, they are asked out and she does need some help because she really does. So I think that, yeah, she definitely should sue him. And I hate that it's gotten to this point for her to actually sue him. I wish she would have done it a long time ago. But, you know, things happen. It is what it is, okay? Now, again, I said I'm here. I'm here for Jen gathering Malaysia. Jen is not her friend, and she's not required to not spill her tea, okay? It's just as simple as that. And let's be honest about this whole situation about the phone call. British called Jen. Jen talked to Jackie. She's having a conversation with Jackie. Yes, she's talking about Malaysia because she's being asked about that, right? there was no reason for Malaysia to jump into that conversation when Jen was asked the question and given her honest opinion. Malaysia did not like what this lady said and hung up in her face. But here's the gag for me. Why do you feel a way about what Jen is saying when you feel the exact same way about Jen? What the fuck do you want her to do? Obviously, Malaysia, you don't fuck with Jen. Jen clearly saying out loud that she don't fuck with you. Why would you need to hang up in her face? What was that all about when she wasn't even talking to you to begin with? You should have just told Jackie, hurry up and end the call. Jackie, hurry up and end the call. I'm not dealing with, like, that's all you had to say. So again, ain't no Malaysia stand over here. I'm not going to excuse none of her bullshit behavior. So, yeah, okay? It's just another example of how she be crossing the line like she's done so many other times. But anywho, girl, y'all going to ride for the woman. Y'all feel it's the strongest, honey. Since y'all think Jen is weak, keep riding for Malaysia. Let's keep going. So, Duffy sits up here and she has a conversation with Iman. Of course, they're talking about their marriage and things not progressing and moving forward, okay? Out of the proposal, the engagement phase, whatever phase they're in, okay? And she pretty much says the reason for that is because you lack ambition. You used to have a lot of ambition when we first started dating, and that actually motivated me. And now your ambition has dwindled, and I'm still over here going hard. And I'm afraid that I'm going to get in a higher place than where you are, and I might end up evolving past you. That's the only sense that I could make of the whole sit down conversation, because I'll be honest, I was a little confused. I said, girl, what do we want from him? Where are we? What are you asking? Because the man clearly said he pays all the bills, does everything, takes care of everything in the house, and you are in agreement with that's what it is. So I'm like, well, what more do you want from him? She wants him to be just as ambitious as her. And I'm a little confused a bit, y'all, because I'm like, how ambitious do you want him to be when he's allowing you, for the most part, to pursue your goals, which allows you to be on the road constantly because you're out here traveling and doing everything else. Meanwhile, he's at the house taking care of your son and his daughter. So I'm like, how ambitious do you want him to be, and you want y'all to do it together? Now, I don't know. Maybe since she's not been on the road as much as she used to, it's allowing her to really take a step back and seeing things differently. Maybe that has a lot to do with it. But, I mean, y'all can feel y'all thoughts in down below in the comments and let me know what you thought of that whole conversation. Because I was just a little bit confused, you know. I mean, I guess what she said, he's a sports agent. He's bringing in money. Maybe he has reached where he wanted. Maybe he is content because that's where he wanted to go. He ultimately wanted to be a sports agent. He's achieved that. And maybe in this moment, he's trying to decide on what direction he wants to go in next. Like, I don't know. But either way, girl, good luck. Let's go ahead and move on, because Brooke is actually removing her husband's name, and she brings Brandy and British along with her, right? So my issue as I was watching this scene was Brandy pretty much trying to give Brooke some advice. And I'm tired of Brandy trying to give Brooke advice, or pretty much asking her, like, are you sure? Are you okay? Like, are you sure this is something you want to do? Like, I feel like you're making an impulsive move. Girl, shut up. Shut up. Stop. Like, Brandy, I don't want to hear any marital advice from you. None. Because clearly women leaving their men for their trash ass ways that you cannot relate to. You just think that it's okay for you to just stay in the relationship, put him through hell for years until you're eventually over it. And I just don't think that's ultimately healthy. I just really don't. So we saw how long you dragged out your whole situation with your husband, girl. Don't give nobody else no advice. Just listen and smile. So of course, British had to tell the ladies about her sit down with Jen, and how Jen was really upset about the call she had with Jackie because Malaysia ended up hanging up in her face. Well, she also lets them know that Jen done told her that Malaysia sat up there and lost her house. Now, if y'all were to be upset with Jen for sharing the information with British, make sure y'all upset with British for carrying that same bone back to other people that did not necessarily need to know about it, but only for her to get to Jackie, and then she put a halt on the conversation and says she gonna let Jen tell her. It's like, girl, you just as wrong as Jen if anybody else wants to feel a way about that. Now, it's interesting to see Duffy and Malaysia trying to get on a better accord with each other, because at one point, Malaysia did not like Duffy, and it really was because Duffy was a friend of Malaysia's best friend, Brandy, and I feel like she got a little jealous of their friendship. So Malaysia says something in her confessional or whatever, and she just pretty much says like, oh, the ladies ask me to come around, but when they come around, they give me the cold shoulder. And I was like, girl, scoot back and shut the hell up. Because in all honesty, Malaysia, you like to isolate your damn self. And because of how you move and you isolate yourself, these ladies don't really know how to take or leave your ass, to be quite honest. That's what I see. Meanwhile, You got Jackie over here getting ready to buy a house, so she says, and she's working on her real estate license. So she decides to invite British over to the house, but it really was for flex purposes only, so that she knows, girl, I'm booked and busy. I got a lot going on. So what was that BS that you was over there talking to me about? Yeah, So this was the time when British pretty much tells Jackie about what Jen said and how she was really upset about the fact that Malaysia hung up in her face, but she wouldn't give her no more details about it. So we gonna find out at the Ponderosa, which we get to, what all Miss Jen really had to say, because it seemed like Jackie Christie was the only person that did not know about it, and she wanted to know. That's why she applied so much pressure to Jen at that time to share her story. And I just kind of felt the way a little bit. I was like, Jen, don't let Jackie pressure you to say something. But at the same time, it's like, well, you already told everybody, might as well tell Malaysia what you said. It is what it is. When we get to the Ponderosa, of course, Brooke lets everybody know, hey, she's getting a divorce. And I was really happy to hear that. I hope that she actually does do that by the end of the season. She says cheating is a deal breaker for her. And I am so here for that, because the whole time her husband was talking on the phone, FaceTiming and all this and that, I didn't seem convinced, and I hope that she didn't either. All right, leave that man, go on about your business. Jackie finally arrives, and then she asks the ladies, hey, I got a question for y'all. Do y'all feel like I butt into y'all business? Well, they kind of let her know, like, girl, yeah, you do be butting in the business, right? So she didn't really know how to take the fact that they was being honest. She started getting emotional, acting like she just really sad and stuff. So when she moves on from that conversation, she says she gonna scale back a bit when it comes to their business, only for her to get back into the business, okay? Because that's just who Jackie is. Now, Jackie ends up telling Jennifer, like, I know what you said last week, okay? It's given, I know what you did last summer, girl. Tell me what it is that you really had to say about Malaysia. What's your issue? Jen said, girl, listen, I already said what I needed to say. Just know that I'm cool on Malaysia. I ain't really rocking with that lady, and it is what it is. I don't know why we trying to have this conversation when Malaysia feels the same way about me. Let's move on. Now, of course, like I said, Jackie was pressuring her. So then Jen says, listen, I just feel like Malaysia was disrespectful for hanging up in my face. Malaysia says that, well, I mean, I respect your opinion. I mean, like, I respect you for not messing with me, but I hung up because I felt like you were about to get disrespectful. So you hung up because you felt like she was about to get disrespectful. You didn't hang up because you felt like she was disrespectful. Again, that confirms my point that you see this lady as weak, whether she is or is not. And for me, it's still giving Malaysia's a bully. Personally, in my opinion, because Jen ain't saying nothing no different than what Malaysia is saying. Malaysia is really cool on these girls. Didn't want to be around these girls last season, but now that her coins are drying up, she wants to try and come around and, slowly work her magic and work her way back into the friend group and all this other shit. It's like, girl, go away from us with this. Jen wants her to open up more about her life. Like, girl, if you gonna be around us, like, you always talk about how you going through so much, but you ain't telling nobody nothing, right? Meanwhile, we over here sharing all of our business with you. Now, I will say this. The reason Malaysia does not share with y'all, honestly, is because Malaysia has trust issues, okay? Malaysia was done wrong by people in her life, and she felt as though when she shared certain things with those people, it always got out. So that's one of the reasons why she withholds things from y'all, because she also feels like y'all may turn around and use that information against her, which is what we kind of doing right now as far as the foreclosure situation. But I don't feel bad about that at all coming out of Jen's mouth. I think it's a sad situation for Malaysia to be going through foreclosure, but I don't think anything is wrong for Jen to put out public information that anybody could find out, number one. And number two, me and this bitch ain't even friends. So why the hell should I hold on and keep your secrets or whatever, or shelter your information about you when I already know how you've proven yourself to be when it comes to me? Bitch, I don't owe you absolutely anything. That's dead. Now, what also got on my nerves was British butting in the conversation, because at first Jen wasn't letting everything out, but she just said, oh, Jen said that you're dead to her and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, British, why you always yelling? And why you always butting in? And why you over there talking about how Jackie be in everybody's business, but yet here you go. Not only are you in the business, but you're spreading it as well. So, girl, you ain't no better than Jackie, so you can sit there and eat your food and be quiet and make sure that ankle bracelet don't go off. Let's be very clear, okay? So when British said that Jen said you dead, Malaysia was like, oh, you killed me already, and I have 3 kids. We not finna do that shit, Malaysia. You not finna sit up here and try and play or switch or do all of that. Oh my God, you're trying to kill me off, and I'm a mom of 3 kids. Bitch, you also was a mom when you picked that table up and threw it at that lady. Hello? You also was a mom when you was trying to come at Angel sideways. Let's be very clear, because girl, you've also been a mom the whole time you've been on this show, and you've been trying to cut the up. Let's be very honest, girl. You're not gonna try and use that right now. No, ma'am. But anywho, the episode pretty much ended with Jen letting Malaysia know that we all know that you lost your house. Like, it is what it is, okay? Now, I do think the comment was misplaced. I feel like something funny happened with editing, okay? Somebody must have said something for Jen to blurt that out, because how they chopped it up, it didn't really seem right, for real, for real. But all in all, it's public information. It is what it is. The lady lost her house. We hate that for her. Maybe this will apply some pressure to Gennaro to go ahead and send some money to help take care of these kids, because she should not have to do that by herself. Okay, but that's all that I got. You guys leave your thoughts and comments down below on everything that I discussed just now regarding these basketball wives. Okay, I'm Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jamie, that's me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.